Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I've got the one, the only, the Dramatik Sion, one of my good buddies. He is not only a ridiculous Smash player, but he plays Street Fighter. What else do you play? You play like a ton of
Street
fighting
Fighter.
games.
I play Guilty Gear, Marvel vs. Capcom, Mortal Kombat 11. I dabble in Dragon Ball Fighters, but I'm kind of washed in DBZ Fighters. But
It's okay. I am too.
yeah, huge fighting game player. Right now with a focus on Street Fighter 5 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Dude, he's just irritating. He's irritatingly good at Ultimate. All right, dude. So when did I actually met you with Neuro and Korean DJ.
All right.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's start at the humble beginnings. Let's go.
I love this part of the episode.
Dude, let's start how you got started.
The humble beginnings.
Because everybody finds competitive Smash in a different way.
I'm flashing back right now, you guys. Come back with me. All right. A long time ago in the distant Lowell, actually, when I was playing Smash Melee. I actually started Melee. I wasn't initially good at Melee, but I watched, like everybody else, like PC Chris, Korean DJ, a lot of the East Coast, but M2K, just a lot of the East Coast like Smash players get good, and that's when I watched that, I was kind of like, shit, man, I really want to get into this game, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna play this game, but I caught it at the end. So when Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is the next iteration, came out, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna pick it up from Brawl and then start from there.
Do we have mirror stories? Because when I watched PC Chris and Korean DJ, I was like, dude, I'm gonna be that of Brawl. Like that was my goal. I remember, so at the time, I was a little too young. I couldn't like travel everywhere, but the internet was popping, so like everybody had like results on all his Brawl or like Smash boards, like the tournament came out and it had like the results, so you'd see you knew who was nice. Like everybody back then, you knew who was nice, and that's what was cool. Who the trolls were.
You knew who the you knew who the scrubs were, but you also knew who was nice. So like I would see results, and it was like Court, PC Chris, Omega Black Mage, Checkmate, like a bunch of other players, and then I saw this guy called Boo Man, right? And then everybody was talking about like, oh, King DDD's top tier. King DDD's top tier. He's like the best character. This is back in Brawl, like early Brawl. You guys need to understand, this is early Brawl when like the tier list was always shifting. The tier list was changing a lot back in early Brawl, but like the top, the top, right?
I remember that.
The top was like always like Meta Knight, but then
Meta Knight was the one core top tier that didn't change.
He didn't move, right?
Nah.
So he was always up there. But then this one guy put King DDD on the fucking map, right? And we had, so there was two in the East Coast completely. There was Atomsk. Shout out to Atomsk. What's going on? If you're watching this video, what's going on, my boy? Shout out to Atomsk. But then there was Boo Man. And they were the only two holding it down, really. You know what I mean? He was in New Jersey, so I couldn't, see him regular or anything. But Boo Man was in Massachusetts. So I was like, oh, fuck, there's Boo Man playing in Massachusetts. All right, cool. Like, maybe we can. And then we saw a combo video of him doing the trap, and then people thought that shit was inescapable. And I was like, I need to like go to one of these tournaments and I need to play this guy. But like back then, Smash Kids were awkward. Like, and we was until, by the way, if you want to stop being awkward, definitely follow his channel. His channel will teach you guys to be fucking cool. I swear to God, I'm not just soliciting it. Follow the channel. It's good. But, Smash Kids back in the day were awkward. So, like, I didn't know how to... Especially if you just meet people on the internet, right? Like, you don't know... It's kind of
rolling the dice.
Yeah, you don't know if you're meeting, like, a murderer or, like... what is it, a philanthropist or a full-on rapist? You don't know. You don't know.
I did a little bit like busted out into a rhyme right now.
You don't know who you're meeting.
A philanthropist
so,
or
like,
a rapist.
He ended up putting his number on the internet to be like, if you guys come through to the crib for, like, a Smash session, hit me up. I'll open the door. Joe's always been like that. So I called this number. So he picked up. He's like, what's going on? This is Boo Man. I'm like, hey, can like a couple of like Boston kids head up there to play? We're just looking to play some Smash. He was like, yeah, dude, come up here. That's like the unofficial first time and then I went up there. That's the unofficial first time that I met Joe. I don't think he remembers it.
I don't, which is crazy. That's how you know he was up there. When you're up there, you only know like the 3 other people that are up there, and then everyone else is the scrubs. You know what I mean? I get that. No, I feel that. I hold no resentment for that. Unsubscribing. But Unfollowing. But that's the unofficial humble beginning of when I met Boo Man. But like ever since then, man, your Smash kind of takes over your life. Like you were hooked. Like it became a real family from there. I mained Diddy Kong in Brawl, and I started beating a lot of the players that were hitting.
Did you follow Ninja Link at first?
I followed Ninja Link at first, and he was I followed Ninja Link and then ADHD.
Oh, he was good.
Because those are the 2 best.
He stood up when he played.
Dude, I can't even sit down while I'm playing. I don't know how people do this. But yeah, no, ADHD, he beat M2K the first tournament that I went to, so I was like, I definitely got to play Diddy. I definitely got to follow this guy and just see how he plays. And then I ended up beating Ninja Link in tournament. And then I ended up
I didn't know that, actually.
like beating like a lot of the players from my scene, so like Peach Kid, like Blood Cross, who shout outs to both of you guys if you guys are ever watching this. Shout outs to Kool-Aid, the homies, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Kool-Aid, shout outs to Pelka, to Fatal, all these people who are still kind of around, you know what I'm saying? Especially Lade, who's killing it right now in Ultimate.
He is, dude.
Yeah, you guys know him as Lade. He was Kool-Aid at the time, and he was like 6. He was like a fetus when we were playing. Like this kid was bad.
He was young. He's built like a house now. Like he
could like devour me.
He lives like an animal. But back in the day, he was like Kool-Aid. He was
like
5 foot nothing, like scrawny man.
He went from like
he was always good at Smash though. He was so good.
He went from like Hotel Rwanda to like Hotel Rwanda. Your shout outs to Kool-Aid. Oh my god, he's huge. Good shit, man. I'm really proud of you. How you've come a long way, and I think he's
crushing
third best right now in Massachusetts.
Good actually, New England, right? Yeah, I think he's like
third best in New England. He does really good. And then Brawl, like that's kind of where I was. Once I started playing and competing with these guys, that's when I was like, I knew where I was coming up. But Boo Man had mentioned somebody close to both of us actually, which is Neuro, and hopefully we can get him on to do an episode at some point.
Dude, we will get him on.
But he's like the guy. I had like my own list, you know, like my own like hit list. I had to beat Eric. I had to beat Neuro. I had to beat Neuro because he was the guy back early Brawl.
So you made so when you first got into the scene and you decided I'm gonna get good at this game.
Yeah.
What was your strategy? Were you like I've got a hit list, kind of like what Dan did, Korean DJ, or were you kind of like, you know, I'm gonna just play a lot, and then because as you start beating people, you start building confidence, right? Like when you're beating people like Blood Cross, Peach Kid.
Absolutely.
I mean, after you beat Ninja Link. That's like big.
That's
that
when
was like, you were like, oh man, I'm good.
Once you have that one, I think it's very to answer your question, I think it's very important to have that confidence because the minute you kind of cross this threshold, I don't want to say everything else gets easier, but it kind of does because your confidence carries you, and you need it to carry you in your gameplay because you start to realize that everyone else is just human. That's how you get good. Man. That's how you get. Once you start to realize, wait, everyone else can mess up. Everyone else is human. Then you get to that next stage.
You gotta not buy the hype that the community is feeding these top players.
Absolutely,
that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely. So to go back to your question, I had an inner list. It wasn't like a real list. I believe Korean DJ had a genuine list.
That guy had an actual hit list.
Had an actual hit list. You guys will definitely hear more about him on this. Stream
for
at some
sure.
point. You guys will have an interview. But the only guy I had on my hit list is Korean DJ, and he was the only guy that I'll ever have on my hit list to this day. Everyone else, I got better just by beating a lot of players and getting that confidence. But in the back of my mind, there was one guy, and it was him. And it still is him, and it's always gonna be him. And I don't know how to tell you guys, like, there's always gonna be that guy in your life. Whether it be whatever you do. Take anything from me as if I'm dying today, right? If there's anything I want you guys to leave this stream with, is there's always going to be that guy in your life. And you need that to push you. And Korean DJ is that guy, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a great answer. I think having my guy was Fatal. Because we'd go back and forth, and he was number one.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah, Fatal Matt. He was like my rival. You know, like, and for some reason back then, I hated him. I wanted to destroy him.
Shout outs to Matt.
No, but like we're cool. We're cool now.
Dude,
we're super cool now.
Oh, so
but back then, it like drove me.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think having a rival,
yeah.
like no joke, like I, weirdly enough, I think Pokemon taught us this. But like having a rival, it like fuels that competitive driving.
Absolutely. Fucking up Gary has made me feel like I want to fuck up more people.
Dude, shout outs to Gary.
Shout outs to Gary.
The real shout outs today.
Shout outs to Gary Blue.
Pokemon Red.
Who couldn't
Blue,
wait
and
till
Yellow.
I healed myself up.
All right, so memorable moments for you. What would you so like the big ones that stick out?
All right,
for you
awesome.
on your journey.
3 that really stick out. I'm just gonna say
here we
3.
go.
The first one is my run back in UMass Boston. Korean DJ had just come back from teaching in Korea, and he was playing other fighting games at the time too. But before he left, he was like one of the best Brawl players. He like won the regionals for at WPI, playing like he was beating people with bad characters. He was beating people with like Sheik and stuff like that. But I remember like,
and this is for Brawl, right?
This is for Brawl. But at this time, this was my like done. I wanted to be done with this game, and I feel like I couldn't move on from Brawl unless I do this one thing. So I challenged him to a money match in front of this whole school. When I say the whole school, I'm talking about like the game room, so like 20 people. But like that's like the whole school, right? So I challenged him to a money match, and then I beat him in front of everyone, and then that was my time to be like, I can put this game down. I did it. Like I put the game down. It was the most liberating feeling. It's like it's like finally being able to go to the bathroom. You're like, I did it. It was like relief in the best sense. You're like, I'm done. It was the best sort of relief, and I was really happy about that. And then
it's a proud feeling, man.
I stopped playing Brawl after that. And
so you beat him. You beat him in tournament.
I finally beat him. It was an exhibition, and then I beat him. Wow. I defeated him, and it was the best. It was the best feeling ever. And he put the game down. He hated Brawl. He said, Brawl sucks. And I was like, that's all I need to hear. You're saying everything right now to me. You're saying everything. That's one of them. That's awesome. I guess I'll say a recent one. Even though back in the day it wasn't a big deal, but now I guess I beat. If you guys, I don't think there was a stream for the latest AR3 tournament, which was really cool. But I think I was the underdog against New Hampshire's like second best player. Shoutouts to Riot.
Yeah, Riot is power ranked currently
as
the second best player in New Hampshire.
Yeah, solid, very
disgusting
strong.
Zelda.
Yeah,
and he's old school like us. He used to play back in the day. He's been playing it, and he's religiously played just Zelda. And not to throw Riot under the bus, but the Boo Man Trap video is actually on Riot. Sadly, just saying. If you were to look it up, that's Riot. But he's so much better now.
He's so good.
He's so good.
I want to open up by giving him credit by saying he's so good, which is why this memorable moment is on here, because he's a good player, and I was able to defeat. Mind you, he won the tournament. I will say, I'm giving you credit. He did win the tournament.
But you knocked him.
But I knocked him in the losers when it wasn't expected for me to do that, and I think I'll say for a memorable moment. Yeah, it's like it's a recent one.
That's dope.
And yeah, I think grand finals with you would be a memorable. Actually, no,
Ultimate's got a lot
Boo's
of
sick, bro. Like I feel like in a long set, Boo Man is probably the hardest opponent you guys will ever. His ability to do adapt is pretty crazy, dude. Like his ability, I don't usually fight people who can adapt pretty much. Like usually after game 3, if it's a long set, game 3, it's done.
Yeah.
First to 5, and a first to 5, I like me over anybody, right? And then I fight Joe, and I'm like, he's switching it up. He's switching up his like. I personally think in New England he's the best Bowser, and I fought a bunch of Bowsers. I fight King James. I fight Exiled. I fought a bunch of Bowsers.
You've actually fought Exiled. He's actually the one that's power ranked because he's grinding. He's grinding.
He's very
unlike
strong.
Me.
Very, very strong.
Yeah,
he's very strong. Yeah, no, but like, there's
I'm
a lot of
honored
killers. There's a lot of killers,
man.
but like, don't be discouraged. Don't think because like a lot of players go to like other tournaments and you don't as much. Don't use that as like a confidence destroyer. Like Joe in a long. I like Joe in a long set versus a lot of players. So I think a memorable moment will go any air.
Yeah.
Air 1 through 3, and this man is actually fun fact, he's
Air is
grand
basically
finals
just a
4
house
times.
tournament that we host.
He had 4 times in grand finals. He hit second, first, second, and in one of my tournaments that I hosted, he got second. So like he's been the most grand. If there's like an award for most grand finals, Joe's been in grand finals every time. The opponent has been different, but he's been in grand finals. Every
You, Riot, Korean DJ. That's it.
Yeah, actually, that's
really
it.
Good.
He's hit great.
That's
so
it.
that's awesome. So like, yeah, I think that's and actually in a bad matchup, I think Zelda. First of all, I personally think Zelda beats Bowser. So in a bad matchup, Joe was able to bring it back in grand finals against Riot from.
I was getting bodied
from a deficit.
I lost like 3 games in a row, and I actually got up from the tournament set, and I went to like collect my thoughts. Came back, won the next 2 games.
It's nuts.
And then he had a good last game, and he finished me off.
It was last.
It was fun.
Last
It was a fun set.
So yeah, moving on.
So as far as advice to new players, because there's players here that are, I'm sure, veterans that are intermediate. What would your advice to new players be? And there's a second part to this question. What is your advice to players that are trying to go pro? So first part, advice to new players.
Advice to new players. I know this is going to be like painstaking, and I know this is going to be the same advice everyone gives. You got to grind. There's no shortcut to hard work.
That's a fact.
Just play a lot.
But if you're playing Smash, it's going to be fun. So it's not going to feel like work.
You have to love what you do, but you can't skip you got to hit the gym, man. You got to do the work.
10,000 hours of mastery.
Put the work in. Exactly. Put the work in. If you have to, you have to go on this run or whatever. Go on the run, like you do. But again, it's kind of like what Joe said. Like if it's fun for you, it's not gonna feel like work, and you'll see it pay off slowly. Like you're not gonna notice it, but one day, because actually when this game came out, if you come from Smash 4 or Brawl, you're gonna have a hard time because you're like, I don't understand the engine. You'll pick up the engine as you go, and I promise you will. You'll just get it. It'll click for you one day, and you're like, oh, you get how the engine works, and it's gonna simplify in your head. The game isn't simple as much as you think it is, but it'll simplify in your head, and you're gonna be like, okay, I see how this game works. Put the work in, and you will develop. And don't listen to tier list matters, but don't listen.
Don't take it as Bible.
Don't take it as Bible. Don't take it as Bible. That's a good way to put it. Thank you. Don't take it as Bible. Pick who you like and go.
Yeah.
Pick who you like and just go. But go. But actually give yourself don't play for 15 minutes and be like, I'm nice.
Yeah.
Put in work. You gotta grind.
Out.
And by the way,
and don't be discouraged from losing, because that's where you learn the most.
Okay.
So when you lose, that's where you're gonna get. As long as you can put your ego aside and just enjoy the process of getting better, I would say losing is part of the process.
No, you're gonna lose.
A lot.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose a lot. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be upset. Take all of it. Take all of it. Be upset. Feel everything. Feel the hurt. And when you win, feel it too. Feel that they're hurt. Feel everything. Feel everything. Yeah. Take it all. Take your wins. I tell it everyone. Take your wins. Take your losses. By the way, in everything in your life. Take your wins. Take your losses. Feel everything. Swallow it. And then move and get back on the horse, though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm getting chills just from hearing you say this. This is so good.
It's the Sion.
The Sion, dude.
What was it? The second part of the question was how to go pro.
So players that are trying to go pro, because I'm working with a few guys, and they're starting to make a name for themselves a little bit, and one of the guys actually feels like he's kind of getting in almost like a. He feels like he's getting stale, like he's kind of doing the same stuff, and like he's just getting bodied by top players.
Right.
But he's had some good matches against top players. So, and getting over to that sponsorship like threshold and getting to that like level where you're like, all right, I'm good now. Like I beat this one top player. How would you say the best way to get there is? Like, what's like the big level up? Would you?
So to become you mean like all right, let me say you talk about how to become a professional, or how to be sponsored, or how to the threshold from a great player to a pro.
How you got sponsored later for sure.
So but great player to a pro, I feel like that right there is the hardest part of the plateau.
Yes.
Because oh my god, that's a weird part. That's a hard one to answer. So a lot of people are great players. Not everyone can be the next level. The next level is gonna take something. Okay, everyone can be great by just playing solid. Like you can play fundamentally sound and be a great player. You can be a great player. Then, to what takes you to the next level is an understanding of it's like a mentality thing, because I could teach you the hand stuff. I could teach you how to be good technically in the game. Like you know all the moves. You know how to move. You know how to punish. You know how to pick all the right spots to be and how to whiff punish, how to edge guard, how to do you play the neutral, all that. But now you have to start to understand habits of your opponent. You have to start to be able to understand the mind of the opponent, and the Japanese call it the yomi, which is pretty cool. It means the mind of the opponent. And this is I want to take a page out of Joe's book because it takes reads. It doesn't take it's not a thing you can teach. And that's I'm so sorry for the players that you can only teach them so much. And now to become a pro is on you. Now it takes a level that I cannot follow the way they say it. It's you have to start being able to understand what they want to do. Bingo. And understand how they want to do it, and what that part is. It takes. I can't take you there. I don't know how to explain this one.
No, I honestly,
it's a good question.
I can step in a little bit
Please.
for this because I think playing against good players, they will find your patterns and they will punish you for your patterns every time. And then all of a sudden, when that happens, you could be like, dude, I'm getting punished for rolling back into the stage every time. And then you getting punished for that starts making you think, oh, maybe I should watch out for that habit in other players.
Yeah.
So but it is like the more that you play and the more you kind of have to be, I think, grounded.
It's more like aware. It's like a weird kind of awareness, right? So it's a conversation almost. It's like you like that I do that. What if I don't do? It's almost like you're talking to them, but you're not talking to them.
Right. That's a good way of putting it.
So
actually.
A lot of the times, a good example. This is a really hard one to follow, but I hope you guys pick up what we're putting down. But like, let's say me and Joe are playing. A lot of the times I'll throw a move just to see a reaction. That is that next. Like, how do you react when I do jab? Do you roll? Do you freak out? Like, so if you watch professional like boxing, no, they're not trying to knock you out with the jab. They're just trying to check you with the jab. I'm gonna throw a jab.
Hands up, Brock.
Ya bum. No. So we're gonna toss a jab, you bum. We're gonna toss a jab, and if you depending on how you react, that gives us information, right? So a lot of it's like poker. It's like understanding when I do something, how do you twitch? How do you react? And the same way when you do something, how do I react? And that conversation leads to the adaptation by both sides, right? And it's who can ever adapt the fastest. And but all it takes is that one win for you to think I can do it again. Yeah. I'm a firm believer. If you can beat somebody once, you can do it again.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah.
You need that.
If you just beat them once it's like in your mind you can kind of say quietly to yourself, I am better than them. I've done it before.
I've done it before.
And it does come to a certain level of self-esteem. I think the thing that really helped me was Omega Black Mage, who was the #1 player in New England. He actually started telling me, it was as simple as this. He sent me, we were like best friends at the time, and we'd be hanging out all the time and playing. But he sent me almost like an email on Smashboards. And he basically said to me, he sent me this long thing, basically like, you have what it takes to be beating all these top players. Just do it. And then ever since then, I just took off. So whether that's the voice inside your head that can get on your team, and you can decide that for yourself, whether that's getting a coach, whether that's having a top player recognize you, like you'll never forget compliments that you get from top players. That will never, like one of my greatest memories was PC Chris saying that he was afraid to play me. Like, because he was the one guy I looked up to. Like he was the one guy that I wanted to be.
I wish I had it your way, to be honest with you. I would love a compliment. The compliment from my guy is never gonna my compliment from my or like I guess senpai or whatever, sensei if you want to put it. KDJ is more like a tisk. If I get like a whatever,
That's how I know.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Everybody reacts a little bit differently.
Yeah.
That's too funny, man.
PC's so cool. Shout out to PC.
Yeah, shout out to PC.
That's cool.
For I'm sure everybody has seen the documentary, the Smash documentary. If you haven't, get on that right now.
Smash documentary.
What are you doing here if you haven't seen the Smash documentary?
Come back right after.
All right, so something that you told me a while back that I actually took to heart immediately, and I started applying, and I saw success right away, which is why I want to bring this up right now.
Thank you.
Because I called Hanny once upon a time.
Okay.
I called Hanny. I reached out to him. And he was talking about scheduling stuff. Like, it sounds simple, but like scheduling your practice sessions.
Oh, it's
like what portion of the day are you going to practice? What portion of the day are you going to do drills? Yeah. What part of the week are you going to go to tournaments? What part of the day are you going to do Smash Fest? Like what part of the day are you going to exercise? Yeah. What's up? What part of the day are you going to food prep? Just schedule all your stuff. And you told me that, and I was like, if you have anything that you want to add on to like the schedule that you told me, because you told me, and I loved it, man.
I mean, pretty much. I feel like you pretty much hit the nail on the head. But yeah, if you guys, honestly, I know you think for the grinding it takes long. If you take 8 to 11 every day, if you do 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and you just grind from there, focus on one thing you want to get better at. That's it. Like, if you're like, okay, I don't know if I've been swearing, but if you're like, shit, my edge guarding sucks. Literally put on your phone an hour timer from 8 to 9, just edge guard. Just edge guard. Play matches, and if you can edge guard once perfectly, be like, all right, success. Slowly but surely, spend that whole night just doing that, right? And then the next night, but as long as you schedule Monday through Friday, you're like 8 p.m. to 11, and don't let anyone get in the way. Be like, if you got a girl, you know what I mean? Like sorry, babe, listen, 8 o'clock to 9, or 8 to 11, it's what it is. Obviously you're gonna have days where you're gonna go out. Obviously you're gonna have days that you're gonna go out to a dinner. You can't make it exactly at 8. Here's the thing, don't kick yourself in the butt for that. But make it the exception, not the rule. Make 8 to 11 the rule. But make the dinner the exception. Trust me, if my friends are going out, I'm going out. It's not like I'm gonna go out. Go out, have fun. But always put time, make up that time somewhere. Make a schedule for yourself. It's gonna matter in every aspect of, even that time for your friends. You're like, the time for me and my girl is the time for me and my girl. Time for me and my friends, time for me and my friends. Like that. And your life is gonna get easier for you, I guess, in that sense. That's not really, but yeah, you put it. Sad. I like the way you put it, though. Yeah.
All right. What was your secret? What was your secret sauce to playing at a high level? What would you say? Like, if you died tomorrow, since we were talking about that earlier, and you had one secret to give away.
Sauce. I think we have the same.
We might.
Mondo Burger. No, we have the same sauce. Adaption. Me and Joe have the same sauce.
The same.
I'm very good at, when we were just talking, there's only one thing I'm good at. It's knowing what you want to do. That's it. Me and Joe have the same sauce. My adapting to the crap, if you're just beating up on me, I know how really quick. And I think I know how really quick more than most people. Right. And I think Joe does too. And that's why it was so weird when I met him. Like, someone else can do this? I was like, it's like when a ghost can see another ghost. You can see me? Yeah. Nobody can see me. I'm a ghost. No, I would say that's my secret power. It's just learning, getting in the head of my opponent is my thing. I'm not really that technical. My combos are easy. I'm not really a tech guy. Yeah, I'm just solid fundamentals, but I don't have any crazy tricks. I don't wave land. I don't do anything. The cool stuff that I'm sure most players can do. All this cool mechanics like Z drop grabs and all that stuff. But I promise you, I know that you want to do it, and I know how to not get caught in it. That's my sauce.
I love it, man. I love it. All right. So what was your big epiphany? If you look back at your Smash career, what is a big epiphany that you remember that you saw a drastic level up? Because for me, one of the big things that I saw was I read a post on basically not watching your character but watching only your opponent. Yeah. And I started training my eyes to just only watch them and watch my character and my peripheral vision. So that was a big level up for me because I saw drastic differences.
I love
that you brought. Oh my, actually, and you just put it right there. Right there. That's my answer. I stopped looking at my character. I wish there was an eye tracker, which should be new tech that should come out.
It's coming.
It's an eye tracker of
sit
where. That's so. It's coming. Tune in. No.
The next episode
where,
of Dragon Ball Z.
The show. No. The eye tracker cam would be so sick because it could show you where I'm looking at, where they're looking at all times, and it's never on my character. That's so crazy that Joe said that because that's so true. The only time I'm looking at me is when I'm like off stage. Just like to like make sure I'm good. I'm like, I'm not dead, right? Like you'll see my eyes go like there for like half a second. Like I'm not dead, right? But then it's like, how is he planning on trying to edge guard me and trying to get away? And I always have a plan initially. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna monkey flip back. But does he know that I want to do that? And if so, what's my B plan? Like, I'm not going to do that because I think he knows that I want to do that. Then it gets deeper, but I never look... Yeah, no, going back to what Joe said, I'm never looking at my character. That's awesome. That's my epiphany. I'm always looking at the space actually in between mine and theirs. It's never always completely on their character. It's always at, like, where their move is going to be and where I am so that I can hit, like, the middle of that. I don't know how to explain it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's really interesting.
Such a good... That is...
Because, like... I don't think I'm constantly watching them, but I think it is floating between the space.
Yeah, it's like the space.
And like 10% of the time, I'm watching my character.
Yeah, it's like a flash to be like...
And actually, every time I do, I'm usually getting... I'm just screwed for it.
Yeah, so I need to stop doing that. I'm like, stop just paying attention to my... Even in a Street Fighter, like, if I look back at my life bar, I'm losing. Stop looking at the life bar.
Stop looking at the score, boys. Yeah. Stop looking at how many stocks.
Stop looking at the stocks.
Just focus on them. Just focus on them. The more that you can bring your attention to them, the better that you're going to do. Yeah. Honestly, like
it's honestly on them and then their percent. Like it'll be like that.
That's huge. Don't focus on the stocks too much. I mean, you can allow the stock difference to fuel you if you're ahead, and be like, I got this in the bag. Like that's fine. But any other scenario, don't even pay attention to the stocks.
Exactly.
And that's why in a lot of my coaching sessions, I tell guys to, like every week, have a deficit match where you bring yourself down to one stock and try to win a match from that deficit because then you know that you can come back. Absolutely. Because some players, I'm sure you guys have seen this. I actually just posted a video on my Instagram the other day. I was playing against somebody online.
Player _1.
Yes. I was bodying them, and it was their last stock. They did 13% to me. On their last stock, they just ran off and died. They didn't even try anymore. It's not like It's not like we were even in tournament, because there is a train of thought where, like in tournament, if you know, like you're not going to win the match, it's not worth the mental effort.
So back in the day, like not to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
Like me, Joe, like when it was over and you already see the game screen, we'd press start, we'd do a soft reset, start, stop, no contest, because that was it. We still do that to this day. And it's such an old school Brawl thing. We're like, because like I was talking to my friend and she's like, why don't you just let it rock? I'm like, because it's done. Because it's done. Yeah. But like, because it's done. There's no reason to sit there and watch this winner is. I know. We're like, it's done. It's done. That's the thing we used to do back then. But like, if you're on your last stock, and this is something that, just to touch upon what Joe was saying, I feel like the true you comes out at your last stock. When your back is against the wall, I've seen people play their heart out on their last stock that I'm like, if you could only play like this, all of your stocks, you'd be godlike. You'd be so good at the game. I need you guys to play as if like butt clenchingly on your last stock all the time.
I mean, it's
hard.
I think Isaiah said it best. Don't get hit, man.
And it's like they're using their first two to just get hit by things. No. Play annoying. Play like as if you never want to be touched by any of their stuff. Don't give anyone anything. If you play like that, if you play super disrespectful, I suppose, then you'll actually see yourself grow because they're gonna start getting annoyed. Actually, I want to bring up stock that we were 2-2. This is the last tournament that I played Joe in. It was losers. Or no, it was winner. It was actually winners finals.
It was
2 stocks.
Winners finals.
I was up a whole stock on Joe, and he was on his last stock 150 something %, and he played that last stock immaculately, only because like he had to, right? Like he had to play it perfect, and he didn't freak out. He's like, my back is against. I have to make a comeback. I have to make it work. So his mentality is like, because I have to make a comeback, I have to do things he's gonna be triggered by. Joe is so good at making people feel like, oh, why would you do something like that? Once he makes you feel snobby with the, because like when I'm hit by dumb things, like, oh, what a bad move. Why would he use it?
Oh my God.
The minute I'm like that, Joe's like, all right, he's annoyed. Let me take full advantage. And that's when the Boo Man crap comes out. He's triggered, so now let me do these random forward smack drop kicks with Bowser, and it hits, and you're like, and now in your head you're done, and he feels that you're done.
Yeah,
you need to make those. You need to play like that all the time, guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry.
I gotta step up for a second, but people that want to get sponsored,
okay,
if you could talk about that, I think it would be super helpful because I know there's some guys that would love to get some information about getting sponsored.
Sure, let's do it. All right, essentially, in terms of a sponsorship, you really just have to be, besides just playing the game, a lot of sponsors are looking for what can you offer them, because it's a business, you know? It's like what can you do to provide for them, and what can they do to help you reach the goals you're trying to set. So like, are your goals to travel? Are your goals to improve in the game? A sponsor is there to help you reach your goals, but at the same time, you promote yourself and promote their brand as well. So like, you have to be marketable is a really good way to put it. You have to be marketable. You have to be someone, you have to be kind of also be like a role model, because a lot of the times it's like you have to promote yourself and ensure that everyone who's looking at you likes what they see. So whether that be your personality, it's more than just being good at the game. Being good at the game is important, though. You do have to be good at the game, but you also have to represent something. And if you don't represent anything correctly, it's an easy way to lose your sponsorship. So that's in terms of sponsors. There's, and it also just depends on like the sponsorship and whatever the case. If it's like a real sponsor, it also just that's where it depends on and stuff like that. So yeah.
Dude, I love it. I heard all of that, by the way. All right, so we're gonna do the lightning round. Are you ready for this?
Lightning round. All right, let me prepare for this lightning. All right, here we go.
You can't ever really prepare for the lightning round. Korean DJ, friend or foe?
Foe.
Why?
Foe.
Just foe.
Foe.
What's your big goal this year?
For this year, I'm going to be more active as a player, and I'm going to travel to more majors. That's my goal.
Ooh, I love that. All right, last question. If you could bring 3 things to a deserted island to survive for 5 days. 5 days. This is very detailed.
Oh, just
what
5
would you
days.
bring?
Oh, damn. There's always the deserted island question is always on lightning rounds, and I'm still unprepared. The deserted island question is coming. You know that. And because it's always a stupid. I can't be like a CRT because how would you bring that? Because there's no electricity. What would I bring? 5 days. 5 days. 5 days. How much battery life does my Switch have? 5 days. I would bring crab rangoon.
What?
That's number 1. I would bring crab rangoon.
One crab rangoon?
No. Are you a box, Joe? A box. This guy. A box. Okay, a box.
Bad sustenance.
Talk about being sponsored.
Salad.
Talk about being. No, I wouldn't bring salad on a deserted island. I would be made fun of by the islanders.
Dude,
they're like, we have a lot of salad on the island.
Dude.
Are there like tribal people? Are there
You don't know.
Can they?
Day one.
I'm bringing
no idea.
day one. I'm bringing a sword. Do I just have one with me? Can I? Or do I have to like?
That would be
this
one
is
of your
something
items.
I actually have to own, or
No.
I can just make up the item.
You can just make it
I'm
up.
bringing a sword. I'm 100% bringing a
You
sword.
can use it as a knife. You can use it as a weapon.
Container, if you will, a container. A sword.
Container's good.
A sword. I guess a water filter is the normal answer, but that's boring as hell. I'm gonna bring a sword. And depending on how many islanders, another sword. Like I don't. I'm like 1, but then if he has his boys, I need another sword. 1 per boy. Damn, I hate this question. Lightning round.
All right, you got one more.
I have one more. At that point, I need like a plushie. I need something emotional support. Cause do I know that I'm on this for 5 days? Do I know I'm being rescued, or I don't know, and then 5 days later I'm just randomly rescued?
Oh, you know.
I know. Oh, thank God! All right, so I don't have to make it's not Castaway out here. All right, I'm not bringing a Wilson. All right.
Yeah, so you might just lose all your fucking fat for the first few days.
Oh,
if you
all
just
right.
Can't catch anything.
Oh, then I'm definitely bringing to Wallach some winning this bet that I have with Joe about weight loss. No, what am I bringing? Because I'm losing weight here. No, but I brought Rangoon, so probably not.
You did bring crab rangoons, dude. I ate crab rangoons. This is honest. This is when I was in shape too. This is when I was a lot better shape. So listen to this. New Year's Eve, I somehow rationalized eating a whole large crab rangoons. And then the next day, I was like, oh, it's New Year's Day. I guess I should just order another large crab rangoons.
Because New Year's.
You don't see the damage done when you eat the first
3
one.
days.
But if you eat a second one back to back.
You're like, okay.
Dude, the next day, I thought I was dying. I actually felt like I was dying. I couldn't get off the couch. I felt sick. I went to my friend who was just an immaculate skin complexion.
I hate that.
She was just emanating
oh
health
my God.
and
was it Thai?
vitality. No.
I was.
No. It was no. It was
I hate
my buddy's girlfriend.
Shout outs to good-looking friends. I hate good-looking friends. I hate that I'm around you guys. I need to be around uglier people.
Who do you say, Ty?
Yeah, all your friends are good-looking. It gets me.
Oh, Ty Rutledge.
Yeah. Shout outs to you if
Ty.
you're watching. Yeah, and your boyfriend. Both of you guys are good-looking, and you guys like Halloween stuff. I like that. All right, whatever. My last item that I could have is such a stupid hard question.
I thought you already answered it.
No.
Oh, I think you're good.
I think I have a fifth one, don't I? I want to screw someone else. I'll bring Shane. Shane's coming with me on the island because I want to
entertainment.
I want. Oh my God, he's fun. Yeah, I'm bringing Poop. Poop's coming with me. To the island.
Entertainment. Pump him up.
Because I know he doesn't want to be there. I just want to take. You're coming to an island for 5 days. You're getting fired. That's it.
Final words. Final words to all the aspiring players out there that want to get to the next level.
Keep playing, guys. Thank you so much for having me on this interview. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for everything. Keep playing, adapt, and stay strong. Stay golden, Pony Boys.
Oh, I love the reference. All right, guys.
Peace out.
Hope you enjoyed this interview. Dramatik Sion. Go follow him on Instagram.
Haney.Khalil at Instagram. At Twitter is Haney Khalil. Facebook is Haney Khalil.
I'm seeing a running theme here.
If you guys didn't know, it's my name. Yeah.
But yeah, sponsored
by Dramatik.
Yeah.
And yeah, follow my dream.
Yeah, check out his stuff.
Guys. Oh, if you guys want a jersey. Sorry, hold on. If you guys want a jersey, 20% off by using the hashtag Dynamite Kick and the shopping cart. If you use the hashtag Dynamite Kick, you can get 20% off your jersey. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. That's my promo code. Thank you. Have a good night.
You heard it here first, kids. Ciao, guys.